Hello everyone, so today I'm going to try to answer the question which coins I think will do well this week. Just a disclaimer, this is a short-term prediction, so there's a lot of variability. It doesn't have to play out the way I predicted to, and always have a contingency plan. And further disclaimer, do not copy the trades. You're just this video is just meant for you to understand the concept behind the decisions, because the entries are not the same when you watch this video versus when I release the video. So there's a lot of factors that goes into it. So just keep that in mind. And I will be doing these type of videos weekly. Just know that I will get some of these predictions wrong, and we're just here to learn each of the individual steps per each week. So how I'm gonna break up this video is, first I'll just explain what I think the overall crypto market is gonna perform, and then evaluate the performance of last week, and then make this week's prediction. So let's get started. So currently Bitcoin has been dropping since November, and it does look like there's a little pause right now. Truthfully, I'm probably 60-40. I don't think we're quite done, because if you go ahead and look at the volume, right, although it's starting to spike up, it's not as severe as it was back in May and back in March of 2020. So if we go ahead and put it on the weekly chart, like there is no blip, like we don't even register on this time scale. So notice that there's one right here, one back in May, and back in 2018, but we haven't had one yet. So my suspicion is that we're still not done dropping, but we could be paused here for a while. So just keep that in mind, because I don't think we're done dropping, and I do believe that we are very likely to go down. This week's prediction, I would not take it to the bank. I would be very, very cautious. But let's just see. So how far I think Bitcoin's gonna go based on this log chart, I do think that the absolute low for Bitcoin is 27,700 down at this green zone. Historically, Bitcoin has respected this green zone. The only time it hasn't is during the March 20. But if you go back, look at the past, it's held pretty well. I do suspect that we're probably in that phase where we're very, very close to the bottom, and we have one more drop left. So right now, I think we're currently just dancing, for a couple of days, or maybe even just today, and then it starts heading downwards. But I do believe that we have one last drop, and that'll be the last one. And to give further supporting evidence, let's just go ahead and look at Litecoin. Litecoin WM2NS. So this is Litecoin without inflation. So if you remove inflation, the US dollar out of the charts, then it will look like this. And historically, Litecoin has always dropped 70%. At least 70%. So I made a video about this recently, but I'll just go ahead and recap. If you look at each of these individual points, Litecoin has historically done negative 70% during these type of drops, and we haven't yet done that. So if we go and evaluate it, we've only done negative 68. Let's go and take a look at the other two. Negative 71, and then this previous one is all the way down to negative 75. So we haven't done a negative 70%, and if we were to do that, then my suspicion is that we will land right here, right, in this August 20 zone. So that would put us at negative 73%, and if we evaluate it based on Litecoin's current drop, that's negative 25, right? So keep that in mind. So Litecoin has a negative 25%, and we go ahead and look back at Bitcoin, where we originally suspected that it wouldn't go to 27,700, negative 23. So in my mind, it makes sense, right? Bitcoin drops negative 23%, Litecoin drops negative 25%. So I do think that we have one more drop left. So keep that in mind while we're making the predictions for this week. So let's evaluate last week. Last week we said STX was gonna go up, and what was the other coin? Jasmine was gonna go up, and we were right. But the issue was that it was an overshot. It was an overshot of the price prediction. So when I made the video, it was on January 18th. You can go ahead and take a look at the previous video, and it has done a 30%. So using that 30, 60, and 100% rule, we should have expected to just get out at 30%. So, and the same thing was with STX. So this had made a 46. So had you got out 30% up, you would have been fine, right? So 30% up, get out here, get out at the price of 260, and you would have been safe. So my expectation is that we're probably going to respect the 30-60% rule, and given that the market is still in free fall, I would not have like a super high expectation of all these coins, moving up 100%. So the recap, last week was a good prediction, but the target was overshot. So we'll just slowly improve on that week by week. So let's see what coins that I think are going to perform well this week. This week, I think these are the 4 coins that have any true potential, but just keep in mind that a lot of these coins have already done the 30% pop. So given that nearly all 4 of them has done a 30% pop, we're not very these act as resistances. So there's a huge chance that we don't go up anymore. So if you take a look at each of these individual ones, right? 30%, 30%, 30%. So they act as a barrier for, if we continue to drop, they act as a future barrier. So out of the only ones that I think have any potential shot is LRC and IDX. I wouldn't be surprised if DDX continues to make another green the following day, or Carl makes a green the following day. But given the odds, I would say these 2 are more likely than DDX or Carl. So focusing on LRC, the reason why I think LRC has a chance is that there has been no proper bounce. When you fall like this, right? Typically, negative 83% is the maximum that you have to fall before you make any sort of massive move. Massive move as in at least 100% move. So if you look at some of the more recent coins that have been performing well, MCO2 has done 100 something percent, over 300%. And then there was another one, I can't recall, but I'll just give other examples of other coins. RUSDT, this one back in the past had done 100% pump right here, and this has done a negative 83%. So, or more than negative 83%. Sorry, let me just zoom in, do it more properly. Yeah, so you notice that negative 83% seems to be a maximum limit. The only thing you have to make sure is that the coin is not diluted. Otherwise, that negative 83% rule doesn't actually hold up. So just to make sure that LRC isn't diluted. Diluted simply means to make sure that they don't flood a lot into the market. So let's just look at the past year. Yeah, so it looks like for the past year, LRC has been more or less stable. They haven't released all that much coins. So that means you can reliably assume that negative 83% is probably the maximum of LRC. So that's why it's fighting against Bitcoin so hard right now, is because it really wants to pump. So if it does pump, I would expect that 100% would be a safe place to get out. But because the market is very, very sus, it is extremely risky. So you would have to evaluate it based on your own criteria of risk to reward tolerance. And just also keep in mind that we've already made 30%. But if LRC doesn't pump and Bitcoin decides to drag everything down, then I do expect LRC to probably land around, let's just do a 20% from this bottom, right? Let's just assume that's like 20%. We're probably gonna go around 50 cents. You know what I mean? Negative 23, negative, Litecoin's doing negative 23, negative 20, negative 25. So I do expect that the absolute bottom for LRC is 50 cents. So for me, if I see this price, you best believe that I'm gonna take it. But you make sure you use your judgment for your own trades. Because I don't expect, if LRC hasn't pumped here and it touches to 50, so it just straight up dies down here, you best believe I'm going to take this price. But if it pumps up 100% and then goes down, then for me, I don't think LRC would be a good play. So the way I see the entire market is that depending on how long Bitcoin wants to dance around, right, will ultimately dictate what these coins are going to do. So if Bitcoin decides to dance around for another 3 or 4 days, I do expect LRC to actually perform really well the following 2 or 3 days. I think it will just try to force itself to get 100%. If Bitcoin immediately decides to just U-turn and go straight down to 27,700, then I do expect LRC not to be able to make the 100% and just drop down first before it bounces. So I do expect something. Either we go straight up or it bounces, it goes all the way down to 50 cents. Sorry, 50 cents, and then does that 100% move. And I do expect the same thing for IDX. IDX hasn't had a proper pump. So what I mean by a proper pump is that when you die like this and you haven't touched this red median line, or you haven't done more than 30%, it's usually really, really like, your alarm bell should be thinking, I should buy this coin, I should buy this coin, I should buy this coin. But always evaluate it in terms of the context of the overall general market, and then you will get a sense of when and where something is going to go. So that's something to keep in mind. So hopefully you found this video useful, and you can implement it into your trades. So to summarize, I don't think that the market is quite done yet, and you would have to evaluate whether or not you want to take this trade right now in hopes of getting this, or stay away from the market, wait for Bitcoin to capitulate, right? Bitcoin to see that immense amount of volume come in, and then buy. So it's up to you how you want to play. In general, in these situations, you should probably take the safer play, where even if LRC decides to go up or IDX decides to go up, it's better just to forgo it and then just wait for the actual confirmation of the capitulation, because then at that point every single coin is going to go up. So you don't have to like force that play to happen. So I do think that the better play would be just wait until Bitcoin makes the absolute signals like, hey, I want to capitulate and then go up. But then the other thing is that I also wouldn't be surprised if everyone got juked here waiting for that volume, like everyone just anticipating for that volume to come in, and it never does, and it's just start chilling and rallying. But typically that doesn't really normally happen, although we have been falling for quite a while. So that's something to consider. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just U-turn here. So it is like in the air, but we are very, very close to the bottom. If this is not the bottom, we're very, very close. Yeah, so hopefully you found this video useful. You guys take care.